See, today we will discuss about stored procedures. Stored procedures means it is a group of one or more SQL statements. That statements are pre-compiled and that put together in a one file. So for that file, we will give one name, and if parameters are there, if we will give some parameters along with data types, all those things. Okay, so as the function, we can use that function for reusability purpose. Same thing, procedures also are nothing but reusability. Okay, so see, I have one query. So that query will be called by API people in so many APIs. Okay, so rather than calling that query in so many places, so if you put that query into procedure and if you call that procedure in many places, that should be good. If you change anything in that logic in procedure, that will be applicable for all places. Okay, so like that, functions only. Say a similarity between procedure and function means, so both can be usable for reusability. Okay, but functions will not be called in API. Procedures will be called in API only. Functions will be called in procedures, but procedures will not be called in functions. Okay, so that differences we will discuss in later sessions. Okay, so as of now, procedure is a group of one or more SQL statements that are to be pre-compiled and that are put into a logical unit. So here we will give one name for stored procedures, and if according to the requirement, we can give the parameters with the data types also. Okay, and in that procedures, if we want to give some transactions or exception handling, you can give. Okay, and what are the features, why these procedures are came? So first one is reduced traffic. So without procedures also, we can get the data set from database, I mean queries. So if you write select queries in API, then we can fetch the data from database, but the network traffic will be more. Why? Because that select statement will itself lot of space is required. Okay, so that query will be lengthy. For example, if you write the store, if you give the store procedure name with parameters in API, so compared to that query, so that should be number of letters should be like 100 to 200, less than 100 only. Okay, store procedure with parameters 100 to 200 maximum. But if you write entire logic, entire query in API, so that would be more. Okay, so that is reduced traffic. And one more difference also, suppose the number of the requirement is huge requirement is there. Okay, so sometimes we can't write the logic for that requirement in a select query. So at that time we need to use some while loops or if statements. Okay, like that. So in that cases, procedures will be used. So in that procedures all can used. Okay, so that is one more difference. But some people will do that, like suppose requirement is, assume that 100% requirement. Okay, some people who don't know about the procedure, how to write the procedure, they simply write the logic according to their knowledge up to 50%, and then they will write the logic in API. So that again remaining 50% will be achieved. But in this case, data network traffic will be more. Like that, for example, if you write the logic in store procedure, okay, that store procedure will return 100 records. But some people who don't know about the store procedures, they will write the logic according to their knowledge. That means 50% of logic will be implemented. So in that case, 1000 records they may fetch. But if they write the logic in API level, they may get finally 100 records. But here see the difference. If you write the store procedure, then you can get 100 records from the database. If you write half of the logic in API, I mean select query, they may get 1000 records. So how much difference is there? Okay, so our goal is the response payload or request payload, as much of possible it should be less. Okay, so that is the difference between query and store procedure. So we can implement more business logic in store procedure compared to the query. Okay, so I will discuss different types of store procedures so that you can get the better idea. Okay. So first one is reduce net traffic, and second one is stronger security. See, I have written one query, okay, but I want to hide that logic. So in that case, if you put that entire query or logic in store procedure, and if you don't give that access to the anybody, then others cannot access that store procedure. They may call that store procedure, but they can't see your logic. Okay, and reusable, as I said, so store procedures are reusable. So same logic, if you want to use same logic for multiple places, you keep that store procedure, you keep that logic in store procedures, you can call the store procedures in anywhere. And easy maintenance. So these store procedures are very easy to maintain. Okay, so I mean we don't need to restart or deploying that applications like that. And improved performance. Improved performance means, see, as I said that these SQL statements are pre-compiled. Okay, once you write the logic in store procedure, so after that you will go to the execution. Okay, so if there is any error, so definitely it will throw the exceptions, otherwise it will not throw anything. So execution compilation is completed. So once you call the store procedure, then immediately it will give the response. Okay, types of store procedures: system store procedures. And system store procedure means servers administrative tasks depend primarily on system store procedures. Okay, so these are admin related store procedures. So here, see, system store procedures. Okay, so as a developer, no need to know about this. Next one is user defined store procedures. So in user defined store procedures, we can able to create the store procedures. We can execute the store procedures. If you want to modify, you can modify that. If you want to delete, you can delete that. And input parameters. So we can have the parameters in store procedures, and if you don't want, okay, if you don't want that parameters, simply ignore that parameters. Okay, I mean you can write the store procedures without parameters also, You can have the parameters also. You can have parameters with null values also, and you can have optional parameters also, and you can have output parameters that may be single or multiple, and you can have a return statement and only integer data type and only one value it will be returned. Okay, and insert store procedures, update store procedure, delete store procedure, how to write that, and I will discuss. Okay, so do you have any doubt till now?